How do you rate as a lover? Answer the following questions honestly. How often can you find something? No. Question 2. When can you do the fine thing? Mainly in the winter. Question 3.
George! George! Look what I've got.
Yeah. How do you spell flannelette?
Oh, look, a cheque for £150.
What's that for?
To pay for my funeral.
But you're not dead.
You call this living? No, it's a life insurance policy, George. I took it out when you were learning how to drive. And now it's matured. £150.
Oh, that's marvellous. That means I can buy myself a new...
No. You're not getting your hands on this.
Well, yeah, perhaps not.
This is going to buy me that lovely little second-hand car I always dreamed about. That and what I've got tucked under the mattress.
You're not selling my trousers.
My savings. £1 here, 50p there. Oh, it's amazing how slowly it mounts up. Oh, it's from your brother, Charlie.
Well, he's writing to you.
Well, no, it's addressed to you if you want to split hairs. But look, he says he's passing through London. He'd like to visit us.
Mildred, that's private, addressed to me. You've no right to open it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, that's better. He says he's passing through London and wants to visit us.
Oh, really?
Charlie, well, it must be 20 years or more. Did you ever meet him?
I don't know. Well, there are so many in your family. Was he the one with the bushy eyebrows and the 5 o'clock shadow?
No, that was my sister Gloria. He was a clever one, you know. Good-looking, well-spoken. We used to beat him up.
Oh, yes, I remember. He came to our wedding. He was the one that held you upright.
Yeah. Well, you never liked our family. You won't want him coming round here bothering us.
Oh, nonsense, George. It'll be company. He's very welcome.
You're going to be late for school. Have you seen his homework, Geoffrey?
Do you know, according to this, the crime rate in Hampton Wick has risen by 12.5%?
You think someone's stolen it?
Wouldn't be at all surprised. Before we know it, it'd be like Chicago in the 20s.
Very likely. Mrs. Fogarty down at the wool shop overcharged me threepence yesterday.
Will we have real gangsters with submachine guns bumping people off?
No, dear. You're thinking of Twickenham.
It's that council estate. It's attracting the wrong sort.
People who need somewhere to live?
Precisely. Look, all I'm saying is it's time for decent people to stand up and be counted.
Stand up.
I didn't mean it literally.
Well, I did. You're sitting on Tristram's homework.
Oh.
I must have called in at a dozen showrooms, and not one of them had a car that I could afford. I mean, I must have walked for miles.
You know what you want, don't you? A little car.
What?
Well, then you could drive round and look in the showrooms.
I should just have to advertise, that's all. And why couldn't you have cleaned up while I was out?
Well...
Empty that ashtray.
What? Oh...
Well, I mean, after all, he's your brother. I don't want him to feel that I'm...
Wow! All this palaver. When he was a kid, he thought himself lucky to share a plate with a whippet.
Oh, answer that, will you? I just want to make myself presentable.
Well, I can't keep him talking that long.
And try and be pleasant for once.
All right, all right.
Hello, George.
Hello, Charlie. Still wet the bed, do you?
Not since I was 4.
You better come on in. He's here, Charlie. Mildred, Charlie.
How do you do? I think we did meet once.
Oh, yeah. Right little charmer you were then. Oh. And you still are.
Oh.
Curse of the ropers, bad eyesight.
Would you like to sit down?
Oh, Tom. So, how did you find our address then?
Oh, from Dad. I write letters to him and he gets a neighbour to write letters back.
Oh.
Well, you haven't changed a bit.
No, he hasn't. Would you like to get some drinks, George?
Well, oh, a minute, rather day,
Right, now, tell us all your news. Are you married? Do you have any children?
No, and I hope not. Well, I just never met the right woman.
Didn't stop some of us.
And what about yourselves? You heard the patter of tiny feet yet?
Well, no. unless you count the budgie. And he didn't walk a lot. So where are these drinks?
What? Oh, there's only one in the bottle. I seem to have drunk it.
Go out to the pub.
Well, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, right. Well, it's nice to have seen you, Charlie.
And get us a bottle of sherry.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, you must excuse George. He's been under the doctor for pig ignorance.
Oh, he's all right. Well, hello, Mildred.
It's been a long time, Charlie.
No, I'm not saying all the working class are criminals. That would be an exaggeration, but...
Yes, decent types, some of them. Make good batmen.
They don't have the same resistance to temptation that we have. They see some brightly coloured object
Quite
and...
haven't the respect for the law that we have.
Another gin and tonic?
I've had 4 and I am driving. Still, you twist my arm.
2 more, please. Oh, Lord.
Ah, yeah, half a bitter and a bottle of sherry.
Dry, medium, or sweet?
Cheap.
It's up to our sort to help support the police.
Quite right. Always carry a fiver in my driving license.
I thought I'd get them to send someone round, give a talk to our residents' association about crime prevention and hell's bells.
Afternoon, son. George Roper, how'd you do?
Roland Barrington Fish.
You win. Right, well, what are we talking about?
Crime prevention.
Oh, yeah, what about it?
I'm doing it now. I'm controlling myself.
Oh, you never told George about us then?
Oh, what for? It was before I met him.
Yeah.
In fact, you introduced us. Still, I mustn't bear grudges.
Well, it might have been different if I'd popped the question, eh?
Oh, you did. But I wanted marriage as well.
So we had some good times, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that time they were showing Gone with the Wind and we went 7 nights on the trot?
Yeah. Oh, I must see that sometime. But, I mean, did you mean what you said, Charlie, about, you know, not being the marrying kind?
Oh, yeah. Me mum reckons I inherited it from me father.
Well,
Still, that's another story. Yeah, I wonder what's holding George up.
an elbow on the bar, if I'm any judge.
You know, Mildred, it really took the wind out of my sails when you married him.
Yes, I thought it might have done, yeah. It surprised George as well.
Hey?
Yeah. Well, you see, we went to this pub. Oh, he'd had a few, you know. And I thought he proposed to me.
You thought?
Yeah. What he actually said is, will you carry me? Oh, I've often wondered if that was true.
Well, you could have done worse.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, me, for instance. Well, at least he's the faithful type. I'd have had half the bridesmaids breathing heavy before we reached the altar. Not that I don't still fancy you, mind.
Oops, it's George.
We've got 5 seconds before he gets in.
Oh, George, Charlie, get off. They do say it's good for the garden.
Oh, really? Yes, well, they will.
Yeah, they didn't have any quarter bottles, so I had to get half. Been entertaining you, has she?
Certainly not.
Well, you don't need to be standoffish. Sit closer together, get to know each other.
So I phoned the station and they're sending someone round. Name of Regan.
Oh, you don't suppose...
Well, hardly. They wouldn't call out the Sweeney for our residents' association.
Geoffrey? Huh? Are you in favour of the death penalty for scrumping?
What?
Well, Tristram's been taking apples from old Mrs. Bolsover's garden.
I see. Where is he? Tristram!
Yes?
Now,
Now, don't be too hard on him, Geoffrey. It's only a few green apples.
that's how the great train robbers started. What have you got to say for yourself?
Guilty. And I'd like some blackberries to be taken into consideration.
It's stealing. Our sort of people don't do that.
Well, Mrs. Bolsover never picks them, because she hasn't got any teeth.
He said he's sorry, Geoffrey, and he's promised never to do it again.
Very well, we'll say no more. But just remember, it's up to us to set an example to people who are less fortunate than ourselves. Oh.
Yeah, 5 in a bed we used to sleep. There was me, Charlie and Bill, north to south. Fred and Bill, south to north.
What, you mean you had 2 Bills in the family?
Yeah, Mum named him after the first one.
Yeah. And Betty and Gloria, they had a bed to themselves after we found out they were girls. Oh, they were hard times. I tell you, I used to have to lie there all night without moving a muscle.
Oh, that would explain a lot. Would you like another cup of tea?
Oh, thank you, yeah.
Oops, I'll make some fresh. Make yourselves comfortable.
Yeah, when one turned over, we all had to, like dominoes. Put me right off sharing a bed.
Oh, yeah? Well, it was a long while ago, George.
Yeah, but some things never change. I was glad to leave home, I tell you.
Well, there comes a time for it.
So I discovered. Dad sent me out to get some fish and chips and had the lock changed. What about you then, Charlie?
Oh, I left shortly afterwards. Yeah, I got a girl into trouble. One of the O'Reilly twins.
Oh, yeah, which one?
I never found out. Anyway, I flung a few things into a suitcase, opened the family safe deposit box.
Gas meter.
Yeah. And took a train to Macclesfield.
Oh, so that's where you live.
No, I did, but there was this girl and she had these big brothers.
I can't say I approve of your way of life, Charlie.
Oh, I see. You believe in sex after marriage.
I didn't say that.
Well, we're all made different. Oh, I knew I'd forgotten something.
Oh, yeah, where does she live? Chawton cum Hardy?
It's this letter came for you just after you left in 1949. We would have forwarded it, only not having an address, we thought it was a bit of a risk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was having to pack me stuff. Well, I had to leave the Shetland Sea because this girl told me she was in the... Yeah, well, anyway, I found that. I was using it as a bookmark in the Kama Sutra.
Oh, yeah? That's the way to look at it. Oh, my God.
What?
Report to Catterick Barracks at 1400 hours. It's me call-up papers.
You realise what this means, don't you, George? You are a deserter.
Yeah, but in 1949, surely the police would have come round if I hadn't reported for duty.
Oh, they was forever coming round, wasn't they? Looking for stolen property. Dad always used to turn off his hearing aid.
How come you kept this?
Oh, well, I used the back of it, see, to jot down 1 or 2 appointments.
What? Mandy, Judy, Wendy, Kirsty, Heidi, Natalie.
Oh, that was a week, that was. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a shock for Mildred.
What? Yeah, oh, I'm not telling her. I know her. She'd make me give myself up. They locked me away in the greenhouse.
Here we are. A nice fresh pot of tea.
Yeah, Charlie doesn't want any. He's got to go.
George!
No, he's right, actually. I've got to be down in Southampton by tonight.
Oh.
Well, bye-bye. Oh.
Oh. Here we are.
Bye-bye, Mildred. It was really nice.
Yes, it was.
We must do it again sometime. I don't know if you want to see me to the door.
Well, yes, I'd love... Oh, no, I think George had better do that.
Come along, Southampton's this way.
I'll drop you a card when I know who where I'm putting up.
Yeah, right.
Bye, George.
Yeah, bye, bye.
They never stop looking, you know.
Hey?
You do realise if they catch you, you could probably be shot.
Hello?
Hello, my name is Turner. I'm calling about your advert in the Hampton Wick Times. I understand you're looking for a small car. Well, I have a white Mini for sale with 65,000 miles on the clock.
Oh, what price would it be? Oh, that sounds absolutely... That sounds very reasonable, yes. Well, could you bring it round this afternoon? That would be lovely, yes. It's 46 Peacock Crescent. Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye. £250? I can just about afford that. Oh.
Who was that?
Oh, my God.
How did they find us? Deny everything?
Well, it was only... George, you haven't shaved.
Oh, no, I'm growing a beard. Yeah. If the phone rings again, don't answer it unless it's somebody we know.
George?
Yeah?
Why are you wearing my sunglasses?
Am I? Oh, I didn't notice. I can't see too clearly on account I'm wearing these.
George, you've been behaving very... What are you doing now?
Well, too much sunlight, it fades the furniture.
I thought the name 4 Mile rang a bell.
Well. I never thought you'd end up a policeman. What was it we used to call you?
Yes. Perhaps we'd better get down to business.
Wobbly chops.
Quite. How many are there in your residents' association?
Oh, everyone in the street. Apart from 2 we never bothered to invite.
Shall we say Thursday evening, then?
Splendid. You can give them a talk on... this is my wife, Anne. My son, Tristram. This is Wobbly, Police Sergeant Regan. We went to school together.
Oh, hello.
You haven't grasped on me, have you?
You must tell me all about it. I can't believe that Geoffrey was ever a boy.
Oh, him and me. We've got up to all sorts. I wouldn't like it known at the station, but after school, we used to go scrumping together.
Really?
Chopped ham, tinned prunes, baked beans, dogger meat. Yeah, dogger meat? I don't want that. Right, enough there for a siege. I'll just have a quick recce outside. Don't do that.
George, come on. Well, give me a hand.
All right.
Thank you. What are you doing?
Well, I was just glancing out to see if it was raining.
What, with your binoculars?
What? Oh,
Have you been looking into Mrs. Wilson's bathroom again?
certainly not.
Because if you have, I'll... What's his bed doing here? And all this food?
Yeah, well, I decided to move up there here. See, I thought it'd be more cosy.
It's happened. You've finally gone off your rocker. Now, look, George.
Bert.
Pardon?
Not George, Bert. I've changed my name. If anybody wants to know who lives here, it's Bert Reynolds.
Oh. George, you... Oh, then. Bert. Now, look, I think you ought to go to a doctor, dear. And I think... You can't be Bert Reynolds. We've got one already.
What? Oh, yeah, him at the fish shop. Yeah. I'll have to think of another name.
John West?
Yeah. He got it off a tin of salmon. I don't know what's the matter with him, Anne. I mean, he's behaving very oddly.
Oh. Perhaps he's going through the male menopause.
Oh, I doubt that, dear. I think he went through that when he was about 20. But look, wouldn't you be worried if your husband started behaving like a nutcase?
I'd get worried if he stopped.
And I phoned round the members... Mrs. Roper.
Mrs. West, actually.
Pardon?
It doesn't matter. Look, I mustn't keep you any longer. I've got to see a man about a car.
Oh.
Yes. He's bringing it round. It's a little white car. Of course, it's second-hand, but I think it's a real bargain.
Caveat emptor.
No, it's a Mini.
Let the buyer beware. There are an awful lot of crooks in the used car business. One should be careful. One should only buy from one's own class.
I should?
No, you shouldn't, but I mean...
Jeffrey?
Well, I know a chap in that line, Roland Barrington Fitch. He deals mainly in sports cars, but I'm sure he's got a little runaround in his stock.
Oh, really?
Decent type, went to Winchester.
Oh, I think that's a bit too far for me.
Right, this should be enough. Oh, forgot the tin opener. Oh, God's sake! Hello.
Good afternoon. Is this the Roper's house?
No, I never heard of him.
But this is the address I was given.
Oh, no, it must be a hoax. No one lives here that name. Right, goodbye.
George? George? Oh, all right then, John.
Yeah.
Wait, was that the front door? I'm expecting someone, you see. There's a man bringing round a little white Mini. But he's driving off.
Yeah.
George, you sent him away, didn't you?
No, certainly not. Yes, I did.
Right. I want an explanation, and it had better be good.
Army recruiting office? Yes, sir. If you could just let me have your name and address, I'll put some pamphlets in the post to you. Right.
Right, George. In you go.
Well, they might put me up against a wall and shoot me dead.
Oh, nonsense. After all this time, they'll probably let you off with a flesh wound.
Look, he looks very busy. Let's come back another time.
George, do you want to spend the rest of your life skulking up in the attic, wearing a beard and dark glasses, never seeing anybody from one year's end to the next?
Yes.
Get in there.
Yes?
My husband has something he wants to say to you.
It's about joining the army.
Well, sir, it's a man's life. I can let you have some pamphlets and... Aren't you a bit past it?
No. You don't understand. You see, my name's Roper. You've probably heard of me.
No.
Well, it's a long story. It starts in 1949. Tell him, George.
Well, 1949, yeah. It was a cold winter, see, and Berlin was still in the grip of the Russian blockade. And at Wembley, cheering crowds...
George! He's been just a tiny bit of a deserter. Huh? But he didn't mean it, and he won't do it again.
A deserter?
Yeah, well, see, this came for me in 1949, but I only just got it.
Well, I don't know if this is my department. Let's have a look. Are you sure this was addressed to you?
Well, of course. G. Roper, 27 Lasker Street.
Very well. I arrest you for deserting from the Women's Royal Army Corps.
What?
You are Gloria Roper, aren't you?
Gloria? Yeah, well, see, I just hadn't read it all, and Gloria, she volunteered.
Yes, George, yes, never mind. Oh, Mr. Barrington Fitch, it's a lovely car.
I'm delighted we had what you wanted, Mrs. Roper.
Nothing like dealing with one's own sort. Decent of you, Roland.
I don't know if you've understood this, Mildred, but them call-up papers weren't for me, see?
Yeah, I had worked that out, George. Oh, it's what I've always wanted.
Excuse me, sir.
You can't touch me. I didn't desert from the Women's Royal Army Corps.
But this vehicle is on our list of stolen cars.
Stolen?
There must be some mistake. I mean, you tell him, Roland. Roland?
One's own sort.